Wemby play, the officiating, what we expect tonight, the physicality, etc., into game number 4 this evening. Norman in West Palm watching on ESPNU. Morning, Norman.
Morning. Evan, you've been talking up Wemby like he's Ivan Drago or somebody. It's not that serious. The ball was sticking with Brunson last game. There doesn't need to be any increased physicality or anything like that. They just need to run the ball through Cat, get back into the flow of moving the ball, and everything will be fine.
I don't disagree with anything you just said, but that's one side of it. You're thinking about just the Knicks part of it. Yeah. Like the Spurs are playing too tonight.
The Spurs are trying to keep the Knicks from doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all the points. Yes. Jalen Brunson, the ball stayed with him too much because he was trying to make up for other deficiencies with the team during the course of the game. Cat didn't play as well as he did previously. Wemby was awesome near the block early on. I mean, yeah, I agree with all that. But, like, there's 2 teams playing tonight. And I don't think we're overhyping or over-discussing Wemby when he's an alien.
I don't think you can overhype or over-discuss something that we've never seen before. I mean, we were at the Hoop Collective podcast live last night.
Well, when you say we, you mean you and I.
Yes.
Yeah. Because one Evan Cohen was not there.
That's right. Correct.
Right. But they were talking about how even in his blooper reels, you see something from Wemby that you've never seen before, that he's that singular of a talent and of a player. And so I don't think that when we're trying to forecast what happens in game 4 and what ultimately happens with the series, that we can over talk about the biggest X factor of them all.
Yeah, I don't think we can overstate the importance of tonight's game. Like, I mean, I think when you consider all of the factors, when you consider how the series turns from a 2-2 format to 1-1-1, and the 2 days rest in between after game 4, I think this is mission critical for the New York Knicks. In order to win a title, they've got to win the game tonight. I'm not going to call it a must-win, but it feels like a can't-lose. This is one of the most important days in New York sports history. Like, this is, like, right up there with January 12, 1969, Joe Namath's Super Bowl III guarantee. This is, May 8th, 1970, which is the Willis Reed game. This is, October 27th, 1986, Game 6 Mets-Red Sox. Like, this is like June 14th, 1994, the Rangers winning the title. Like, this is right up there with the most important days in New York sports history.
Wow.
And let's not kid ourselves. There's a ton of pressure on the New York Knicks to respond and win game 4. And so going into the Garden tonight, there's going to be a lot of people that are excited, but if game 4 starts the way that pretty much every Spurs playoff game starts, there are going to be a lot of people at MSG sitting on their hands worried that the sky is falling because it's this impending doom that's about to happen to their team.
Major Hicks in South Carolina, listening on Sirius XM 80 at 888-SAY-ESPN. Morning, Major Hicks.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Great. How are you?
First thing I want to say is I hope the New York Knicks lose this series very bad. And secondly, I want to say that this promoting this fighting stuff, man, is crazy. This boy been beat up all 2 series in a row by everybody. It's time for him to retaliate. And what he did to Brunson, he should have been.
Who's him? You're talking about Wemby retaliating?
Yes, he needs to retaliate for what they've been doing to him.
But he's the one. He's the one who did it.
This kind of basketball, man.
But Major, wait, hold on, Major Hicks, hold on a second. We all love Wemby. We all are okay with him playing physical brand of basketball. To be fair, in the previous game, he is the one that committed the flagrant, quote-unquote, flagrant foul that was not called, and it would be Brunson and the Knicks that would retaliate in theory tonight, not Wemby.
Man, no, Pete, women is not the problem. It's everybody else. They scared.
I don't think the Knicks are scared, Major. And here's the other thing. We're going to pretend that we didn't see Wemby elbow Nas Reed in the face in game 4?
Yes.
In the Western Conference semis? We're going to pretend that we didn't see Wemby in the conference finals tell Bismack Biyombo and Mason Plumlee, hey, hard fouls?
Do your job.
Are we going to pretend that Wemby is not about that life?
And by the way, we have no issue with that.
Wemby is not a victim in any of this.
No,
he's not. Like he is, if anything, an initiator when it comes to altercations that are on the court.
And I think it's smart.
He instigates for sure.
No question about it. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that we've got to protect Wemby through the officiating at all costs. This is a guy that's telling everybody that he's about that action. And the Knicks have to respond in kind. That's all I'm saying. I'm not promoting fighting. I'm not saying the Knicks have to be proactive in trying to go after Wemby, beyond, what's typical in the flow of a basketball game. But if Wemby decides that he's going to engage in the extracurricular, I'm going to need the Knicks to meet that force and to send a message that can serve as a deterrent for Wemby and everybody else in a San Antonio jersey not to mess with their key guys, not to mess with their stars, starting with Jalen Brunson.
No issue with it any which way. No injuries, no dirty plays that result in injuries, nobody hurt, nobody ejected.
I was going to say,
Just
no flagrants.
moments of griminess, moments of in each other's face, moments of your sports life is on the line. That's it. That's what we want to see. And we saw it from Wemby. And I thought we saw it a little bit from Jalen Brunson, kind of getting right back up at him, to be fair. It's the other guys that it's their job to protect Brunson.
It happened with Luke Cornett and Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
You guys keep bringing up the 90s and, like, the enforcers and things of that nature. Without calling for it, there was some of that, like, beat the hell out of someone, and like this isn't the NBA. This
is the NBA.
No, in terms of the 90s that you love, especially you, Evan, love referencing the 90s NBA. That wasn't good basketball. Like we're past that. Also, Canty, we're at the point now. If we don't consider what Wemby has done throughout all these playoffs, you've mentioned some of them. There was the pulling Lou Dort's hair while he's running by him in that Thunder series. If he's not a dirty player, I don't want to know what your definition of a dirty player is going to be going forward when it comes to athletes.
What are you talking about if he's not a dirty player? What are you talking
because
about?
you guys are dancing around the line of not calling Wemby a dirty player. Wemby is a dirty player.
I just said, what are you talking about? I literally spent 2 minutes outlining chapter and verse
you're talking about what he's done without saying Wemby is a dirty player. You're talking about these moments and not being like he's a dirty player.
Feels like splitting hairs.
Like, yeah,
just because I didn't use that term, I was describing dirty plays. I was describing Wemby doing stuff that's extracurricular, that's outside of the flow of basketball. Just because I didn't use the term doesn't mean I'm not calling what Wemby is doing extra.
No, not calling what Wemby did. Is Wemby a dirty player?
Yeah, I think. Let me say it differently. I think when we say somebody is a dirty player, we're also minimizing their ability to impact the game with basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we call Dylan Brooks a dirty player because we know Dylan Brooks ain't gonna go out there and drop 40. You know what I mean? We do the same thing with Draymond Green. We call him a dirty player because Draymond Green is not going to go for 50 at MSG. I don't call Wemby a dirty player, even though he consistently makes dirty plays, because I know Victor Wembanyama offensively is one of the most unstoppable forces in the entire sport.
It's an overriding label.
Yeah,
You're
like that's what I'm
right.
saying. That's why I didn't call him a dirty player.
Yeah, it's an overriding label.
Makes you feel like you have one.
I literally talked about all of the dirty plays that Wemby has had throughout the postseason, and I talked about all of the dirty plays that he's encouraged from his teammates. I don't know what you want me to say, Nuno, in terms of, labeling Wemby to get everybody to pay attention to what's going to happen in Game 4. I don't know what you're looking for.
But he's not a dirty player. Got it.
I didn't say. Oh my God. Oh my God.
This is bulletin board material for him. It's a big game.
I don't know what you want from me, Nuno.
Canty, this is not personal. Nuno is looking for someone to be upset at, and it happens to be you.
Got it. So he is anxious. Got it.
I'm not.
He said he's not anxious before the show.
Trust me,
he is anxious about what's happening tonight.
This game is not what's agitating me.
All right.
Let's go to break.
Okay. All right. I feel like you're going to be watching tonight puckered.
We're at Sportsman
With this series, who has the momentum right now? Would you say it's San Antonio? Because, I don't know if I'm willing to go there, but I also have to acknowledge before Monday night, the Knicks haven't lost in 46 days. So I'm curious, where's old Mo when it comes to the NBA Finals in this series between these two teams?
Old Mo?
Yeah, where's old Mo at?
I would say it's with the Spurs.
Really?
You know how in baseball, it's like you're only as good as your next day's starting pitcher? I
Yeah.
feel like when you get to the championship rounds, whether it's the Stanley Cup final or the NBA Finals, it's game to game. The momentum can shift game to game. And even though they're still at a 2-1 deficit and they're on the road tonight, it just feels like they made a bit of a statement in game 3 and that maybe they're starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, see, that's the part. The last part is what I want to focus on, because sometimes when it comes to momentum, you have to divorce the outcomes from the reality in terms of the matchup. And I'm just curious, was game 3 more of a product of the New York Knicks coming home and feeling the pressure of the anticipation from the city in being on the verge of winning a title? Or was it something tactically that Mitch Johnson and the San Antonio Spurs figured out that's going to give the Knicks problems the rest of the way in this series? Like, that's the part I can't figure out, because when you look at some of the things that the Spurs did, going with the 4 guards and Wemby for the majority of the fourth quarter, yeah, it worked out in terms of the Spurs being able to rest Wemby while he was on the court, and then those guards being able to get downhill and hunt matchups. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge, when it comes to the rebounding, they got lucky. And I'm not sure that the San Antonio guards are going to be able to hold up when it comes to not being out-rebounded by the New York Knicks if they try to major in that lineup the rest of the way in this series. So what they did, the adjustment they made, it ends up leading to the outcome that the Spurs were looking for in game 3. I don't know if you can replicate that in game 4 and beyond.
Well, I guess to answer that question in terms of Mitch Johnson, let me ask you 2 questions. What do you think happens tonight? Do you think Wemby plays near the basket more or less?
I mean, I think early on he's going to play near the basket a lot, and then as he gets tired, especially considering there's only one day off between games 3 and game 4, you're going to see him settle for more jump shots, more three-pointers in the second half. That's kind of been the pattern for Wemby. He only had 1 rebound in the fourth quarter of game 3. 1.
So, and do you think that Wemby on defense is going to roam to guard the corners every time, stay in the middle and guard the corners? Do you think that would be the plan?
Yes.
Okay, so then the question becomes, in terms of X's and O's, how do the Knicks combat that? So if you don't want Wemby to play free safety and he's not going to guard directly Karl-Anthony Towns at all times and he's going to roam to the corners, what do? Do you not put guys in the corners? Do you put only shooters on the floor?
I think that's the adjustment. I think it's only shooters on the
Josh
court.
Hart take the under on his minutes tonight?
Josh
not
Hart,
a bet, just a conversation.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean, Tim Bontemps in the Hoop Collective, he went as far as to say that Mike Brown should start Landry Shamet. I don't know if I want to go.
He said that?
He said that. I don't know if I want to go there and change the lineup after one loss. But what I would do is major in Landry Shamet minutes. And I get that Shamet didn't play well, didn't shoot well. He was in foul trouble in game 3. But based on what he's shown the last 2 rounds of the postseason, I think that he's a guy that you have to respect in terms of a threat to knock down open shots. If you space the floor in that way, you make it a lot harder for Wemby to have his feet in the paint on defense, because he has to respect the guys that are sitting outside of the three-point line. I think that's what you do. You let Cat control the flow on offensive sets from the top of the key, and you operate through him. I think that has to be what the New York Knicks do from an X's and O's standpoint in order to counter what Mitch Johnson showed in game 3.
Now, very quickly, do the Spurs have a counter to the counter?
Tell me.
So, yeah, I still think playing zone at times, it makes sense. I've been saying this, and they did at times in the last game. They played the 3-2 that I suggested at times, not often, and there were versions of it. And they may say, no, we didn't play 3-2. It looked like a 3-2 zone, 3 up top, 2 down low, with Wemby kind of roaming. I think both teams are so good. Knicks never lose. I understand they lost the last game, but they literally never lose. That they clearly have an ability to adjust to the adjustments, and the Spurs have an ability to say, Victor Wembanyama, you are going to be an all-time great, act like it. And he's done that. Like, in the last game, he acted like an all-time great relative to getting close to the basket, pacing yourself however you can do it, and kind of took the second quarter off. Smalls is kind of how I would look. I mean, that's not fair, but they lost by 18 in the second quarter, and he was playing outside. That he's going to have to find that one quarter where he doesn't play as much inside than outside. He plays more outside to rest. And I think they got to find ways of stopping the game. I know that sounds odd, but like
I just don't know that we're going to have as many reviews in Game 4 as we did in Game 3.
You're going to think that maybe they'll start faking injuries.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, my leg, and they're sitting on the ground
I'm pretty
for a
sure
half
the
hour.
Knicks are not going to be in the bonus more minutes than not in the second half of tonight's game.
So you asked the question, is it tactical moves that the Spurs had figured out that allowed them to take Game 3 and as we forecast into Game 4, or was it the energy?
Yes.
I would hope it is the tactical stuff, not the energy, because that stuff you have a better chance of combating. How do you manufacture the energy? I've been thinking about this a lot because we obviously are boots on the ground here in New York City. It was like a utopia here. Utopia.
Yeah.
Everyone was high on the Knicks. I mean, that sounds aggressive, but we were riding high on the